Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Beta 400 and the brown skin human, coming back at you with another video cartoon intro remake review intro. This is the intro to various remade cartoon reviews and rants. For some odd reason, even though I didn't do this in the past, when one of the Sonic songs I used has a copyright on it, and it's not a big deal. But if I ever when I decide to set this channel up, when I get eligible for monetization, I can't get any money from ads from the video, so that's why I'm just redoing it with two different songs that surprisingly don't have copyrights on them. This version is the same as the last one, except my clothes and stuff will be different, and of course the intro songs will be different. Instead of using what I'm made of, I will use the songs intros will be Weekend and Sonic's Back in Time. And for cartoons that do deserve a rant, or for videos that do deserve a rant, what I'm made of will be used as the outro for the various cartoons. So yeah, this is the intro to various narration. Part 1 will be narration. Second part will be season and episode webcam reviews spliced together in one video. Some of these won't go on all platforms. Yes, some of these will only go on YouTube, and some of these will only go on Facebook. So with that being said, let's get started right now. Let's go back in time to when television and cartoons were great.
But it's still not clear. So many places to go, there's nothing here. So let's get away from this, 'cause this place will hardly miss. So take me back in time to another world where we feel alright. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. There's nothing I don't know, there's nothing to
Hey everybody, it's now time for my off-camera part 1 webcam review of the Sonic review of the Sonic cartoons to set up the Sonic Prime cartoon, which I really don't care much about, which just recently aired and finished. That's the most recent Sonic cartoon to air, but I just wanted to do that as an excuse to talk about the Sonic cartoons. I really don't care about the Sonic Prime, especially with the much superior Sonic 1 and 2 movies out and the short-lived Knuckles miniseries out, which I've seen 3 episodes of. But I wanted an excuse to talk about the Sonic cartoons. You know the drill. Part 1 on-camera webcam, and then part 1 off-camera webcam, and part 2 was the on-camera real-life superhero version, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 will be the season reviews of these 5 cartoons I will be talking about. So yeah, the very first Sonic cartoon was the 1993 Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, which is the first Sonic adaptation I saw, and one of the first major adaptation of Sonic's. This cartoon has not aged well. It is not the creative masterpiece I remember as a kid. This cartoon, while it kept some elements from the game, it altered the source material to resemble a Wile E. Coyote Road Runner cartoon, the 1980s Ninja Turtles cartoon. It has small elements of the 1993 Double Dragon cartoon, even some of the same background music, as both of them are produced by the DIC Entertainment Company. And the last one is the late 80s, early to mid 90s Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Those are the vibes I'm getting from this cartoon, and the the 90s Warner Brothers cartoons like that were airing at the time, like Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and Freakazoid. That's the adaptation they was going for. Instead of the super serious anime movie style of epic the video games have, even playing the video games, they have a much more serious tone than this cartoon did right here. Still, it was an exciting cartoon. I enjoyed several, and almost all of the episodes. The cartoon was never boring, and this adaptation lasted the longest, and it was the gateway for the much superior adaptations that will follow. And the Sonic Christmas special, which is the series finale that actually aired 3 years after, which actually aired 2 to 3 years after this show had went off the air, to promote the new Sonic 3D Blast 1996 video game, was phenomenal. I recently saw this last year, the Christmas special. It was a phenomenal Christmas special, a phenomenal conclusion to this awesome underrated cartoon right here. And this cartoon featured the voice acting talents of the legendary J. Lil White, Steve Urkel. Besides Steve Urkel, he was a phenomenal Sonic the Hedgehog, voicing Sonic in all of the 90s productions of the cartoon. Then you got the next one, Sonic Saturn AM, or Sonic AM, or you want to call it, which is originally titled just Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, but I call it Sonic Saturn AM. Also to I call it that to distinguish it from the other Sonic cartoons. But it's also, during its initial time slot, it aired in the mornings. I saw this show 5 years after it premiered, and I think went off the air 5 years after it premiered, and went off the air in 1999, 2000, and I discovered it by accident. I was looking for the first one, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I discovered this cool, new, edgy this cool new edgy remake with a catchy Sonic. He can really move. Sonic, he's got attitude. Sonic, he is the fastest thing alive. The awesome fastest thing alive song, which I used to always rewind my VCR to play that song every time I would rent the Sonic cartoons. I loved the super serious, darker cartoons that was more reminiscent of the video games. I loved everything about this except for two things. Three things actually. One, Tails, who was featured here. Tails, he was featured in this cartoon. He wasn't a main character. He was a background and supporting character. And in his place was Sally Acorn, a chipmunk, I think. Who she was okay. And the worst was a cowardly fox named Antoine. One of the worst and weakest characters in Sonic. Next, characters like Amy and Knuckles, who were created around this time, appeared around this time, were nowhere to be seen in this cartoon. Then the last one, you have an episode titled The Super Sonic, but it has nothing to do with the actual enhanced supersonic transformation we saw in the video games, which actually made his debut in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But other than that, awesome cartoon, one of the best 90s and one of the best action cartoons of all time. I don't think it's the best Sonic cartoon like people says it is. And which brings to the last one. Season finale was phenomenal. It opened the door up for season 3, but there was no season 3. The show was canceled. The show was canceled. There's recently been a fan project to continue the rest of the show, but yeah. The differences between the game and the show's cancellation prevents it from being the best Sonic cartoon. It is one of the best 90s cartoons and one of the best cartoons of all time. Next, Sonic Underground. This has a mixed negative reception because despite being from the same creators and featuring a similar plot, this show has nothing to do with the previous Sonic Saturn. So people, instead of trying to find a way to continue Sonic Saturn, they do this spin-off Sonic Underground world. However, I thought this Underground television series was much better than Saturn AM. Saturn AM storyline was way better, but this cartoon was just way more exciting. It better everything. Upgraded 2000 style of animation, which makes this look like an anime. It actually could easily pass for an anime. It could easily pass for a cartoon of today until you see the action sequences, which are classic cartoon comic book style scenes instead of the awesome video game action instead of the awesome anime video game style of action seen in the video games. They have the special moves seen from those games, but it's like I say, it's comic book cartoonish style fight scenes. But this cartoon is like a gigantic. This cartoon is an awesome loose adaptation of Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure 1 for the Dreamcast, which was in production at the same time. I love to play those games, especially Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and watch an episode of this. And speaking of that, Knuckles finally makes his animated debut, he's the coolest character in this show. And Sonic's supporting characters, once again, Tails is not seen, but his supporting cast is way better than the one in Saturn AM. You get Sonia, a female hedgehog, and a hacker style hedgehog, green hedgehog, and Manic Manic. So his team here is much better. It's another rebellion plot. The Sonic group, they were separated by birth to protect them from Robotnik, and they're the key to liberating the world from Robotnik once again. Just like in the previous one, he has a threatening position where he's already basically taken over the world. The games he wants to conquer the world, here and in Sonic Saturn AM, he's already conquered the world. Only other thing I hate about this cartoon, never had a legit conclusion. Its final episode was a filler episode. Yeah. So that's another incomplete Sonic cartoon. Next Sonic cartoon, which is this is the fourth Sonic cartoon. This right here was a Japanese anime, Sonic X. I consider Underground like I said, Underground, X, and the next one, Boom, I'm gonna talk about to be the best. But this cartoon right here is Sonic X. This has a mixed reception amongst people, and this cartoon was more popular here than it was in Japan. Japan made another season strictly for the American market. This cartoon, I consider the best Sonic cartoon of all time. It's not as exciting as the 90s versions, but this cartoon is way bigger because this cartoon gave you everything and everyone the Sonic games offer at the time. And it's an awesome, it looks like an awesome adaptation. It's an awesome loose adaptation of Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Heroes, which I think would come out, which was out around the same time, or maybe 2 years after. I can't remember whether it was 2 years after or around the same time. But the awesome game Sonic Heroes, which I'm still looking for, I never got a chance to play, but never got a chance to buy. And yeah, he has everything. And finally, not only does Knuckles here, but he has a much bigger role. He has a much bigger role than he did in Underground, and he has a personality reminiscent of his personality from the games. His personality in Underground was accurate, but he was tamed for a younger audience. Here is full-on Knuckles, and speaking of Knuckles, other characters like Shadow appear, and finally the Supersonic transformation appears. Even the Chaos Monster appears. So yes, the greatest and biggest adaptation of Sonic. Then you got the next one, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom, which is a short, self-contained, comedy-driven action cartoon reminiscent of Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, and the 2012 Ninja Turtles television series that premiered in 2014 and ended in 2017. This, in my opinion, was one of the greatest Sonic cartoons of all time. It's a spin-off of the main timeline featuring the Sonic cast in a different universe with different, cooler, edgier character designs and personalities. I love the more comical Dr. Eggman, and I love the cool new edgy designs this show had. Only things I hated about this show was, like I said, all the episodes were self-contained. There were really no long story arcs. There were two-parters for the series finales, for both the season and series finales. But yeah, and the show ended before a bunch of other things could be introduced, like the supersonic stuff. That being said, this was one of the greatest Sonic cartoons ever, and it was one of the greatest shows on Cartoon Network. And the next thing I hated was they canceled this because the video games just weren't the Sonic Boom video games weren't selling, which I hate how they use the video game sales. They judged this series based upon the video game series when, firstly, because you only released those for the Nintendo consoles, not a lot of people got to play those video games. You released them for Nintendo-based consoles like the DS, the Sonic, the Wii U. The only reason I even wanted a Wii U was to play Sonic Boom, and yeah, the Nintendo DS and Wii U consoles. No one cared about those games, but more people watched and cared about this show. And I wish they would use the strength of the ratings of the show instead of comparing them to their video game that no one cared about, and no one got a chance to play because it was a Nintendo Wii U exclusive. Had it been for 360 or PS3, I'm pretty sure more people would have bought it. Had it been for 360, I would have bought it. So yeah. Then the next cartoon, which after this would be it for the Sonic cartoons until Sonic Prime. They had a time-traveling Sonic cartoon, which I was initially excited for. We were like, oh, if it's a time-traveling Sonic cartoon, maybe they could explore the past Sonic cartoons, including Boom. Maybe those characters in Sonic could make a cameo here. But it doesn't look like, from what I read, it doesn't look it references any of the past Sonic cartoons, especially Boom, even though it has the same animation as Boom. There's the same animation as Boom, but they have no connection other than having the same CGI animation. So yeah, this was Sonic. See, this has been my review. This has been my review of the Sonic cartoons. I may watch Prime when they, but right now I don't care about it, especially since it's already finished. I would probably give it another shot if it was still on air, because Sonic, he's Mr. TV now. He doesn't need a TV series now because he has his movies and the Knuckles television series killing it. Yeah, which I'm more excited for. Yeah, this was my part 1 review of the Sonic cartoons, the on-camera real-life superhero version with props and everything in a costume, and the intros. They will be in the description box below. And like I said, the part 3s, 4, 5, and 6, and 7 will be the season reviews and the post-episode review and reactions. So, with that being said, you want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Is it me, or have we been here before? Why don't we go somewhere that we can explore? So let's get away from here, run to where the skies are clear, and we'll go back in time to the world where we'll feel alive. We won't have to worry with you by my side. There's nowhere we can go, and you can be my guide, as long as you don't run too slow. Take me there, take me anywhere you want to go, to a place that we both know. With you here, there is nothing left for us to fear. We'll make the bad guys disappear.